Today on UPSC History View, one of the greatest companies and sovereign powers that ruled the Indian subcontinent over the 18th and 19th centuries was the East India Company. Let's take a look at the various charter acts. Hello and welcome to UPSC History View. Today, let's learn about the Charter Act of 1813. The East India Company Act 1813, also known as the Charter Act 1813, was an act of the Parliament of the United Kingdom which renewed the charter issued to the British East India Company and continued the company's rule in India. However, the company's commercial monopoly was ended except for the tea and opium trade and the trade with China, this reflecting the growth of British power in India. The Act expressly asserted the Crown's sovereignty over British India, allotted 100,000 rupees and permitted Christian missionaries to propagate English and preach their religion. The power of the provincial governments and courts in India over European British subjects was also strengthened by the Act, and financial provision was also made to encourage a revival in Indian literature and for the promotion of science. The literary critic and historian Gauri Vishwanathan identifies two major changes to the relation between Britain and India that came about as a result of the Act. First, the assumption by the British of a new responsibility for Indian people's education, and second, the relaxation of controls on missionary activity. Whereas previously, educational provision was at the discretion of the Governor-General of Bengal, the Act overturned this laissez-faire status quo by establishing an obligation to promote Indian people's interests and happiness and religious and moral improvement, a responsibility the British state did not bear to British people at the time of the Act's passage. Vishwanathan attributes the impetus for the new educational responsibilities to the mood in the English Parliament. Parliamentarians were concerned with the extravagant lifestyles of East India Company officials and the company's ruthless exploitation of natural resources, and feeling that the British ought to lead by example but lacking the ability to curtail the activities of wealthy Nawabs, sought to remedy perceived injustices by seeking Indians' welfare and improvement. Prior to the 1813 legislation, the British Parliament and the East India Company had refused to countenance missionary activity in India and proscribed the Bible and forbade religious education in support of a policy of religious neutrality, and on the basis that if exposed to Christianity, Indians may have felt threatened and thus would have posed a threat to British commercial ventures. The lifting of the prohibition when it occurred was not, however, a victory for missionaries and did not precipitate official support for their activity. Instead, they were subject to stringent checks. The company's charter had previously been renewed by the Charter Act of 1793 and was next renewed by the Charter Act of 1833. Thank you for listening to this discussion on the Charter Act of 1813. For more such discussions, get the UPSC Practice app from the App Store.